How does the Earth rotate?
After 7 dramatic minutes of entry, descent, and landing, everyone will want to know, did Curiosity survive? There's a possibility we won't know, at least not right away. During its descent through the atmosphere, Curiosity must switch to a new antenna for each transformation it makes. At each switch, we could lose lock on the signal for a short time. That won't hurt the rover, it just means we won't know what's happening right away. Even with a solid signal, the communications link direct to Earth only works during the first half of the rover's descent. Why? Like Earth, Mars is spinning, and during landing, Curiosity and its landing site will disappear from view like the sun setting. Out of sight equals the end of direct radio contact.
Okay, so the reason I'm doing this part of the video is to show you I'm a lot smarter than you're going to take me for, because you guys are pretty stupid to do what you did to me and think you can just walk away. Uh, from Earth to Mars, current distance is 291.89 million kilometers. You can't transmit a signal that far without a repeater. You can't do it. That's the first one. So here's number two. Here, this is a fiber optic. Now, fiber optic is a median, so it's already line of sight because it's a median. It travels down this median. It's from one end to the other. It sees the light at the other end, so it's line of sight. Um, Earth moves and rotates. Mars moves and rotates. It moves from distance that you don't have line of sight all the time. I guess I'll restart. Okay, so I'm back. I worked at Yada Networks where we were using a switch. I mean, the company's closed now. It was a fake company. They set it up. Everything in my life's been a setup. It's ridiculous what you guys have done. But what I learned there was what clock data recovery was and how to use it. So we were making a switch where it jumps one, it transmits on one, then we switch to the other fiber, switch to the other. It was supposed to be a optical switch, and with this optical switch, what we had to do was it switched, so you'd lose your data, and then you had to recover it again with the receiver. And then it was switched, and you have to recover again with the receiver. Stop and restart. Okay. So what happens is when you lose data, you have to use clock data recovery because it's one stream of bits going out, one stream, and there's no clock. It's just data. It's just data, ones and zeros, and that's all it is. It's digital data basically, just going out. And it's a light signal that we were doing because it was light wave, kind of like this. It's fiber optics, but it was exactly like this. It's fiber optics, but to recover it, the way you have to do it is it would send a whole bunch of series of ones and zeros, just constant 1 0 1 0 1 0 at the same frequency over and over until the receiver had enough of the data to where it generated a clock out of it because you need a clock to decode the data. That's clock data recovery. I mean, there's a better definition, but that's how it works for me. I understand it. I stop and restart. Now, the reason I said that is because this is a fiber optic network, and we're saying we're sending a signal to Mars, and Mars is supposed to be 291. What was it? Where is it? Right there, 291 million kilometers away, um, without a repeater. That we're saying we're doing it without a repeater, and we have constant line of sight, is what we're saying, or we're being able to recover a signal. And what I understand, it takes 4 minutes to send a signal and 4 minutes to receive a signal from Mars, is what it says. That's what they tell us. Um, so I'm going to show you something that you're just not going to like. But before I do this, I'm going to stop and restart. Okay, so here's the next one. That's picture two. So I'm going to lower that one. Uh, and here's picture three. New up here. This is a cable system, and this is line of sight. And I remember Carlton Brown saying, "Yeah, bro, when you show that, it's basically it's been over for a long time, guys, and you still haven't told the truth." So anyway, this is line of sight, fiber optic cables. It goes from one end to the other, and notice there's a repeater out here in the ocean. Or splices. There's a repeater in the ocean. They splice it, and it's in the ocean somewhere. There's a repeater. It has to regenerate the signal because there's so much signal loss, and that's an optical signal. Everything has loss. Everything does, even microwave they have loss. They scatter and disperse. That's my understanding of it. I mean, talk to a real engineer, he'll know because he knows all that stuff. I don't. I just know you can't fool me. Okay, I'm back. That's part three. That's picture three. Just show you they have a repeater, so it regenerates the signal and sends it back out. That's what you have to do to send over a certain distance because the signal deteriorates. It just gets worse. Um, there's part four, and this is the one that's going to hurt. This is the one that's going to hurt. So we have repeaters, right? It showed at least one repeater. There's probably more, but there's at least one repeater in it. And where was it? The length of the cable. The cable length is 14,000 kilometers. Not million, thousand. 14,000 kilometers. Now, how many 14,000 is in 290 million? A lot, right? But they have a repeater somewhere in between this. Somewhere in between this. I just wanted to show you that. I'm gonna stop and restart. Okay, I'm back. I took the time to look this up for you. It's how long does it take to transmit a signal to Mars? And it says it generally takes 5 to 20 minutes for a radio signal to travel the distance. Um, I'm telling you, you can send a radio signal, but we're not going to be able to recover it. And whatever's out there is not going to be able to recover it. And if we don't have people on Mars, we're not going to be able to fix it. Because just think of how many times your car breaks down after so many years. Just think of how bad your car runs in the cold, in the cold, especially an older car. Because just remember, Charles Brown from Yada Networks, um, he was laughing. He was making fun of you guys. You guys are tormenting me. He was laughing. He said, America's going to be believing that there's a Mars rover running around. You can remote control car. Almost time to restart.
Mars rover stuck in a ditch.
Where?
On a dusty highway just outside Bakersfield. Where do you think? On Mars!
Did anyone read that article about Bitcoin I sent you?
Yeah, I can't believe a single Bitcoin is worth about $5,000 now.
Wait, didn't we mine some a few years ago?
Hi guys, I want to take you through the process of using a Bitcoin ATM, which gonna give you money. So this is an ATM where you can cash in your money. So first of all, I select English.
That was Charles Brown from Yada Networks. And he said, "You're gonna believe we have a Mars rover running around on Mars where you can just driving around. Have you ever tried closing your eyes for 5 seconds and trying to drive? Try 5 minutes, Brad. People are gonna be believing this stuff. I don't know what's wrong. Because I remember Bill Bartol going, man, they're really doing it. It's funny, isn't it? Now, the problem with test equipment and the problem with programming stuff is you can put a bit to mean anything you want. You can program it to mean anything you want. And if you teach somebody that that's what they're doing, they're going to believe it. If that's your science, you say, well, this is how it works, then they're going to believe it because, I mean, you go to school, you pay for it, so it must be true, right? It must be true. If the police say something, it must be true, right? Right. Anyway, hold on one second. Okay, we're back. If many people say something, it must be true, right? Must be true, right? Must be true. Let's see if I can find this. Well, I'm gonna pause it for a second. Okay, I'm back. If someone says it, it must be true, right? Because just remember, that's what happened to the Lord Jesus. And they said, crucify him. They wanted to find something, so they did. They did. Many false witnesses came, yet found they none. At the last came 2 false witnesses. So just remember that, guys. You persecuted me, my ex-wife, and her family. Shane is in jail because of you liars. I know what Shane Hawley told me. I'm not allowed to say what it is, but I know Shane Hawley told the truth. So I'm going to start. I was shown where they were telling him, "Oh, you have a bulletproof glass on the rooms." They said, "Just don't hit it with a hammer." I said, and I told Shane, I said, "Shane, they're saying don't hit it with a hammer. Hit it with a hammer, see what happens." He goes, "No, they said it'll break." I said, "Think about a bullet. A bullet will break a window." He said, "No, no, it's bulletproof." I said, "Yes, it will. Just think about it, Shane. The bullet's going to hit just like a hammer." Somebody came and knocked on that back window, and he was used to it because somebody kept coming over and waving, and then he'd go home. And then someone knocked on that back window, and Shane looked out, and a double barrel shotgun was there, and they blew a hole through that window. And I saw the pictures of the results. And that's why Jolene moved away, because of what you guys were trying to do to us. It's not our fault. You guys don't want to tell the truth, what you did. Just remember that. Shane Hawley's an innocent man. You guys did something. You did something to him. You know you did. People know you did. No one wants to tell the truth. I gotta go.